got a lot of acres in front of us today, and we getting the earliest start we've gotten so far.
So it says it's 98 degrees, but it feels like 114.
I almost broke a little sweat walking from the combine over there.
It's like someone opened up the oven and then put a fan on the oven.
Remember that conversation we had about personal space? I'd like to have a little bit more.
I'm in the truck, I'm at the bins, I'm back on the road, I'm back out in the field. It's just really repetitive. It didn't make for a really good YouTube video.
We might have a 60 bushel swing in yield from one part of the field to the other. All right, ready for another long day here in the wheat field. Also did some figuring on what we need to save for our wheat seed to plant this fall. It looks like with our rotation, I'm only going to be able to have about 415 acres of wheat at 165 pounds an acre. That's about 1,175 bushels of wheat that I need to save to have cleaned. And then looking at our yields in acres, you know, normally what we do on our wheat seed, we save 2 different varieties and then we'll put it at the bottom of a bin and load it out. But I don't think one bin is going to be able to hold all of our wheat crop. It'd be real close. So what we're going to do is we're going to split it up between 2 bins and put one variety in each bin. And then when we haul off our wheat to have it saved at right after the 4th of July, we're just going to weigh out what we need out of each bin and carry it and have it cleaned. And then that way, rather than having 3 bins to clean out, you know, 1 bin with all of our grain and then 2 bins with the wheat that we're saving, we'll only have 2 bins to clean out. And during the heat of the summer, that's not a bad thing to have. I'm actually a little bit hesitant about saving this variety right here. It's Pioneer 25R40, and over the years, ever since I started planting it, it's been one of our top yielders. However, this year, even though we're making about what I expected, I was actually hoping for a little bit more, and I don't know if this variety is just starting to play out or not. It seems like, you know, varieties only last for so long before there's enough cross-pollination or whatever that the yields just start tailing off on a particular variety, and I don't know if we're seeing that with this variety or not. I mean, we've been saving it, planting it for like 7 years, maybe 8 years or so. So we've been using it a good long while. Even though it's kind of doing what I expected, I was actually hoping it would do a little bit more. This variety's always seemed to surpass my expectations, and this year it's not. So we're going to give this one more year on this variety, and if yields on it don't pick up, might replace it with another one. I'll know a lot more when we get to our second variety, and if it's surprising me on yield, then I know that it's more likely a problem with a variety rather than a problem with a year. But with where wheat commodity prices are right now, I'd hate to see what certified seed will be going for this fall if I were to change to a different variety. Because with wheat prices in the $10, $11 a bushel range as opposed to $4 to $6 a bushel range, rather than looking at $17 for a bag of seed, I mean, heck, we might be looking at $30 for a bag of seed. I just don't know. So we're gonna roll the dice on this one more year at least and see if things pick up on it next year.
Good afternoon, lady and gents. This is day 4, 5? I don't even know what day it is. I woke up thinking it was a Saturday. It is now 1 o'clock. I worked until 11 o'clock last night. so that they can get in front of me. Today I got out here at noon after doing a whole bunch of stuff at the house, running errands. Came out here, drove the truck with the seat tender over there, walked all the way over here, picked up the service truck header trailer, walked back. So now I've gotten my 8,000 steps in before 1 o'clock. It is a balmy 98 outside with a feels like of 115. There is no breeze unless, you know, the oven farts, because that's exactly what it feels like when there's a breeze. So I'm gonna get started, and I think Matt's got about 25, 30 acres ahead of me, so I can get going and get caught up to them. So that's kind of what my plan is I start later in the day and then work later at night, so that I'm not constantly waiting for him and them to get out of the way. Went across the street, and we're gonna raise it up and unlock it. It's kind of tricky. You're gonna set it down. Very importante, you have to make sure that your wings are unlocked. So unlock the wings. It didn't go down all the way. So we're gonna have to raise it up again and raise it down again. Come on. That's my hydraulic problem. There we go. Well, let's see if it raises it. Ah, winner, winner, chicken dinner. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but that's how I've got it set up, so that all I have to do is just look at that mirror, and knowing that those back row cleaners have cleared the frame, then I can turn, because we are on a lot of terraces over here, and I don't want to get any of these units caught up. I've also got it clear in my mirrors so I can see. It looks like Matt has started back up. Lunchtime's over. I'm gonna grab mine and keep eating, and then we're gonna roll. So that's how my day goes. Pretty boring. I listen to the radio, and I listen for hydraulic problems. That's my day.
All right, I just seen a mama deer running down that way. There's a good chance there might be a little baby deer hidden out here in this wheat somewhere. Me and Carter always try and catch at least one fawn every year. I've only seen one so far this year though. Normally we see quite a few more. I didn't see any wheat moving out there, so no, she might have had them right there in the edge of the woods. Those mama deer sure like to hide their fawns out here in this wheat. Those fawns really blend in real good. I mean, they're almost impossible to see. You can walk right by one and not even see it unless it decides it's just going to up and move, and then you can see the wheat moving. Like I said, we've only seen one fawn so far this year. Normally I see quite a few rabbits out here. We've only seen just a small handful of rabbits. I don't know if wildlife's gotten them or what. I don't know if I'll be able to get Carter to help me catch a deer or not this year though. Being almost 14 years old, he probably thinks he's got too old for shenanigans like that. He's too cool to catch deer with dear old dad. Carter, go grab that baby deer that just ran in front of you. Did you not see it?
No. Where's it at?
It just ran over there towards the road, and I think it's hiding over there in the ditch. Alright, it's lost. It had enough sense to get out of the field. Oh well, next time. Here we go.
These twins, Carter just went after him.
Apparently Carter is chasing baby deers rather than chasing the combine, and here I am full. Carter, come on, man. We'll get the deer later.
He's got one.
All right, great. Carter caught a deer.
Got one.
Well, bring him on around. Come on, I'm full. Well, apparently Carter caught a deer, and all the way on the other end of the field. Might be the only one he catches this year, and I didn't get it on video. Yep, she's full. Come on, Carter, let's go. That's a young one there.
Hold on, hold on.
He gonna poop all over you.
He just walked up to me. He just like stayed on there, and then I just walked up to him and grabbed him.
He walked right up to you. You expect me to believe that?
Like he was sitting right there, and he was walking towards it, and then he just stopped, and then he kind of like sat down and just looked at me. I just walked straight to him, and I just grabbed him. He didn't even care. Probably needs water.
I don't know what to do with it.
Well, when we get done cutting the field, you go put them back exactly where you got them from.
I'm gonna go put him in that creek where I saw the other ones walking.
Well, put them right in the edge of the put them right in the edge of the field, right where you got them, so Mama can find them.
Can we go put them back now?
Now wait till we get done with this field, probably.
Well, I don't want to hold them in here.
I'm not putting them in the combine.
Oh, I gotta drive all the way up there.
You'll be alright.
Where do I
Hey, put them in the edge of the field at the same location where you got them from.
talking about like where do I put them in here?
You can sit them down here in the floorboard. Boy, he's all legs.
Did he break something? Cause he was like prone.
No, I doubt he broke anything. He just so young, he just ain't got his feet up under him yet. Carter Griggs shall forever be known as the deer whisperer. He's caught a fawn every year that he's been out here.
I said whenever I put the deer back that I looked down and I saw this like big old deer just looking at me, and it was like kind of like on top of the hill.
Be careful, Mama might be coming after you.
You dang right she's coming after me. You kidnapped her child. If someone kidnaps my child, I'm coming after them as well.
You know what they do to child molesters, don't you, Carter?
Smell like deer.
It didn't pee on you, did it?
No.
Well, that baby deer probably smells like Carter now. It's probably going to be shunned by its mother from here on out. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Pretty good. Showing on the internet your basis on wheat's 55 under. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I can probably do about 50 under still. We pulled back a little bit. I don't know when they're going to pull me back again, but right now I'd do about 50 under.
Even though a lot of mine's contracted at 650 or so, 50's still the best you can do.
Yeah, probably going to be about the best. Let me look at it when I get down there and see if I've got more room in it. It probably, if anything, it might be 5 more minutes, but it ain't going to be a whole lot. No.
And I'm assuming you don't expect that basis to get any better anytime soon, do you?
No, the southern wheat crop is terrible, so I wouldn't be surprised if it don't continuously get worse.
All right. Yeah, I wish I'd book. I think it was 35 under a month or two ago, and I kept hoping it would get a little better, but it's gone the other way.
Right. Yeah. And I think unless something changes, I don't see it getting a whole lot better, honestly.
Well, alrighty. Well, I need to go ahead and lock in the basis on all of my contracts before it does get worse. I don't think I've got the basis set on anything so far.
Okay.
And I've got several of those FRM contracts that if they haven't already doubled up, they're about to. So before the basis gets worse on them, I need to set enough basis to cover those too.
Okay. All right. I'll be down there in just a few minutes. When I get it, I'll pull them out and see exactly what you got, and I'll let you know the exact best I can do on it.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Bye. Well, guys, you just heard that conversation. Even though the price of wheat on the Board of Trade has shot up tremendously, you know, we weren't really able to take advantage of it because we'd already locked in a lot of our wheat quite a long time ago at what at that point were some really good prices, not historic prices, but were some really good prices. You know, of course, we just didn't foreseen course, we just didn't foresee Russia invading Ukraine, which is one of the biggest drivers in the run up in wheat prices. But still, we had some good prices locked in. But because wheat has gone up so much, all of these granaries have really lowered the basis, which is the actual price that you receive for your commodity. Normally, where we're taking our grain up there at the river, you know, normally we would see about a plus 15, plus 20 cent basis, which would means that they're paying us 15 to 20 cents over what we contracted at the Board of Trade. Well, because wheat prices have gone up so much, what we're seeing this year, right now they're offering a minus 55 basis, which is 55 cents under the Chicago Board of Trade. And well, we had an average price locked in probably somewhere, I don't know, probably about $6.50, $6.75 per bushel, which was good. And then you throw a plus 20 on top of that, you know, we're getting close to $7 wheat. Well, now because the basis has gotten so bad and we didn't have it locked in, so now instead of seeing like almost $7 wheat, which is kind of what we would expect, we're going to be looking at close to $6 wheat, which is not a terrible price for wheat, but comparing that to the fact that it's going for, you take that 50 cent basis off, it's going for close to $10 a bushel, that's not looking near as good. So, you know, historically, my marketing on the wheat side was good. But for the circumstances that we're facing this year, I'm kind of taking a hit on price. We're still going to make money. We're still going to make profit. And I'm not going to complain about that because there's guys out in the Midwest that don't even hardly have a wheat crop to sell at this $10, $11 a bushel. Whereas, you know, we've got a good wheat crop. So I'm not complaining. It's just one of those things you just can't foresee, and it's, you know, it's just almost impossible to hit a home run. Occasionally, if you do hit a home run, most likely there is some good luck involved. It's not all because of skill, and you know that's kind of what we're seeing this year. Say what?
Did you run over a skunk? Cause it smells god awful.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I smell it too. Woo! Yeah, it's getting pretty stout in here. Kelly might not let me in the house tonight.
Oh God, I smell it over here. Are you sure you didn't go through the combine?
Kelly's smelling it. She's way over there. Oh God. Yummy.
We sucked up a whole family of them.
Why didn't you catch that thing out of the field, Carter, before I ran over it? Might need you to get you to run back to the house and get some Febreze.
Matt, you're gonna need to burn your clothes.
What I tell you, she ain't gonna let me in the house without burning these clothes. I'm not getting rid of these jeans. These are my air-conditioned jeans.
Oh, they can air condition on the line outside.
These are the jeans that I got the crotch ripped out in the middle of them, and Kelly gives me a dirty look every time I put them on. Well, at least you don't have to deal with that deer smell anymore, Carter. Where's that sucker at? Well, if it did go through the combine, I hope y'all are not the unlucky ones that buy the donuts that this wheat is going to make. Or the cake, or the crackers, whatever purpose it goes to. Too bad I didn't run over that sucker right next to the road right before some bike riders came through. That would absolutely make my day. Carter, I found the skunk. It's right here on the very front part of my cutter bar. You want to go get off and grab it for me?
No.
There it is right there. You see that tail? Oh boy.
Where's it at? I'm not grabbing it though. Where's it at?
Get over here and look at the front of my header right here where the reel splits, right on the front of the cutter bar.
It's moving.
It's not moving.
Moved up.
Oh my gosh, it is moving, Carter. Grab that thing for me, man.
I'm not touching it.
You're at least gonna help me, man.
It's either two of us in a tomato sauce bath or one of us, so I will bring a pole to you. Just give me a second. Nobody touch it.
Come on, Carter. That's why I pay you the big bucks. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Oh, there it is.
I ain't going near it.
Come here, you come hold the camera. Barely. Ah, the joys of the country. All right, if you look closely right there, you can see wheat looks different. This is where I ran out of the first variety and switched over to the second variety. This 25R40 is a bearded variety, and the other one is a non-bearded variety. So we're going to have to cut the edges here where I finished up with his first variety, dump it on Carter, and Zach's going to haul that to the bin. Then we'll start cutting the second variety, and Zach will swap over to the second bin to hold it in, just so we keep these varieties separate, since that's what we're going to be pulling our seed out of to plant this fall. All right, you see this block right here that I cut out right there, and then there's a road that goes that way. That's about 2 acres on this 18-acre farm that recently just got sold. The landlord that owned that little block out of this block and moved down to Texas didn't want to deal with the hassle of owning land anymore and decided he was going to sell it. And anyway, a real estate developer got in his head, told him what he could get for it. I tried to buy it from him as soon as I found out it was for sale, but he really wouldn't even consider my offer. I mean, realistically, I could only offer him about 25% of what he actually got for it. It wound up bringing, like, I think around $22,000 per acre. So more of the countryside that I grew up on, that we've been farming for decades, will now have a house on it. I mean, look, I understand it, you know, law, supply and demand. Everybody wants a piece of the countryside. Some people are willing to pay a premium for it. But I mean, if we keep on building houses on farmland, I mean, that's less and less farmland we're going to have. And eventually, I mean, there's going to be a tipping point to where there's going to be too much development and won't be enough food production. You know, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon, but at some point it's going to happen. And just taking the cheap and easy way out of buying farmland to put a house on, there's plenty of other there's plenty of other ground here in West Tennessee that you could build a house on. Problem is it's got trees growing on it, but nobody wants to spend top dollar for land and then have to pay to have the land cleared off. It makes construction that much more difficult. I get it, but taking good farmland out of production to put a house on that's going to be a problem at some point. I mean, you see all of those trees all the way around. I mean, there's plenty of room to put a house on. We ain't got to take farmland out of production, but unfortunately that's a trend that's picking up steam and not going to slow down anytime soon. And the problem is it's really picked up steam right here around me in a lot of the area. that I farm, I seen no telling how many houses get built on either farmland I farm or neighboring farms that other guys work. You know, in just the last couple of years. You know, I'm not begrudging somebody wanting their own slice of the country, but at the same time, you know, it's taking away farmers' livelihoods, and you know, we can't. I'd like to buy the land, but I mean, we cannot compete with what price that they're giving for development. I mean, we simply cannot compete at all. That land would never cash flow in my lifetime at $22,000 an acre. Heck, it might not cash flow in the next generation's lifetime at $22,000 per acre. I just don't know what the end result's going to be. But anyway, that's my rant for today. Not begrudging anybody buying that land, but I also like to implore you to think about, you know, the long-term consequences of taking good, productive farmland out of production permanently.